All right, so thank you all for joining us for our 2023 Service Learning Celebration and Showcase. We appreciate you sharing this time with us on this afternoon. And more importantly, we appreciate all the contributions that you make, whether you're students, staff, faculty, administrators, or campus partners, to helping us to really advance community engagement. So I'm Jamela Watson-Thompson, and on behalf of the Center for Service Learning, I have the great pleasure to serve as our director, and we are very excited to be able to host this celebratory event with you all. Our annual service showcase and celebration recognizes the year of community engaged work that is showcased through our service and our community engagement endeavors. The service showcase component, which will be the last part of our activity on today, it's really an opportunity for our students at KU to share their service learning projects and experiences with campus and community partners. Additionally, the celebration and the event allows us to recognize, award, and acknowledge the hard work and dedication of our students, faculty, staff, and community partners throughout the year. And so with that, I want to just briefly share a few things that may help us to ensure that we have a wonderful virtual event. So the first thing that I will note is just what we can expect to do and how we can engage on today. So the first couple of considerations are there are captions that are being used. If that is helpful, just click on the CC button at the bottom of the Zoom window, and that will allow you to see closed captioning. Additionally, if you do have a preferred name, indicate what your preferred name is, as well as pronouns. And it's always helpful to know who's together. So if you have enough room, if you can also indicate your organization or your unit you represent. If you want to get into celebratory mood, we encourage you to change your Zoom background to something that's celebratory as well. And we really do want to make this an engaging event. Although we recognize it's virtual, please do use reactions in the chat to help us promote engagement as well as celebration. Lastly, on this week, we have been supporting our KU Serves Week, which is in conjunction with National Volunteer Week. And so we do ask that on today and throughout the remainder of this week, please engage with us on social media. And you can use the hashtag KU Serves as you see on the screen. Lastly, we want to make sure that those that we are recognizing and celebrating, that we're able to continue it past just today and also share with them some of the celebratory remarks. And so we have a kudo board that is in the chat that we also ask throughout this event and even later that you are able to make a kudo or recognition to those who we will be particularly recognizing and honoring on today. So I also want to make sure that as we think about community engagement and service learning, we also recognize our contributions and our actions. And so I'm going to share just a couple of the ways in which we want to make sure we engage. Before I do that, though, we want to make sure that we do at least have an opportunity to know who is on with us. And so a lot of times if we were in person, you would be able to have the opportunity to communicate and mingle a little bit. And so what we're going to ask you to do is just identify someone, look at who you're seeing, and identify someone that you may not know or that you may know and haven't seen or communicated with in a while, and just send them a private message and just introduce yourself or say who you are. And then after you've done that, in the full chat, if we can all just introduce ourselves and just note our name, our pronoun, and our unit or organization will just help us to stay connected throughout this event. So I'm going to give you a moment to do that. Thank you. All right. And so hopefully you've had a moment to connect with someone. And thank you all for those who connected with me. I appreciate that. And so with that, also make sure that in the chat to everyone, you may also introduce yourself as well. We will continue on. And so it's important as we think about community engagement to really think about what are some fundamental values and principles, not that just we're going to state, but that also we want to abide by in action as well. So the first is a statement of social justice that we want to make sure that we share. And so for us with the Center for Service Learning, which is a unit of academic success, we are committed to participation in creating a diverse, just, and global society. And we want to ensure that we're doing that by collaborating and working towards assuring conditions that support equity, particularly for communities and groups who have experienced marginalization or with a history of marginalization. And so we hope and try through the work that we do to be able to center on that social justice value. Additionally, as we think about community and the communities in which we engage, it's also important for us to consider and acknowledge the land and the space in which we occupy. And so with that as well, we want to make sure that we acknowledge that at the University of Kansas, our institution does occupy land that has been cared for by Indigenous people. And we are also taking the time, and we need to take the time to understand and acknowledge the history that brought our institution to occupy this space, as well as the place and history of our Native American and Indigenous people, who also are our students, our staff, our faculty, our partners in communities, so that we can thrive to reduce colonialism and oppression. And so with this, we also recognize those sovereign nations, as well as the recognized tribes. And we want to make sure that we, Center for Service Learning in the University of Kansas and more broadly, are thinking about how we support our Native American community and recognize the dynamic contributions of Indigenous people here at KU, in our communities, and in our nation. And so thank you all, and I hope that we take that to heart and to practice and to action, most importantly. So what we're going to do a little bit and think about in our time together is we like to do a little bit of a year in review, or just share a little bit about some of the work that we're able to support and promote through the Center for Service Learning with many collaborators here at the University of Kansas. And so first, I would like to take the opportunity just to very briefly indicate or share with you some of our staff and our team. So I had the great pleasure of serving as the director, along with Emily Roundtree and Kate Kemper, who serve as assistant directors. We additionally have multiple graduate students who plug into this work, Doyen Sola, Cynthia, Lena, Valerie, and Stacia. And so we thank you, I thank you for all your continuous contributions with helping to advance this work. Additionally, as part of our mission with the Center for Service Learning, there's kind of three pillars that we try to work with many partners, both on our KU Lawrence campus, across our multiple campuses, Edwards campus, as well as the Med Center campuses, and most importantly with students, faculty, staff, and partners to really advance community engagement, service learning, and civic engagement. And part of the way in which we're doing this and to uphold and support our mission is also thinking about where there are opportunities to really contribute and support the work that's occurring. Our office has been intentionally, with quite frankly, the support of academic success, been considering how we can also think about the integration of research, teaching, and service so that our students have a plethora of opportunity, as well as our faculty, staff, and partners. And one way in which we have intentionally tried to think about how we can offer additional support is in this area of community engaged scholarship, which looks at that integration across research, teaching, and service or outreach. And so what you're going to see next is as we talk about some of our collective work, some of my wonderful colleagues, we're going to play short videos and clips that allow you to see some of the activities that we've been engaged in collectively across our campus.
This year, I've been so excited to work on the ARISE project. It's adaptive and resilient infrastructures driven by social equity. Groups of researchers from KU, K-State, and Wichita State, and other colleges across Kansas are coming together to address our resilient future of our infrastructure in water, energy, and transportation. And the Center for Service Learning is helping to guide and lead the community engagement strategies and approaches for the project. It's been so exciting to see researchers and communities come together for a more resilient future for Kansas.
Thank you. And so Emily was able to feature, and we have another colleague as well, Cynthia, who's going to share about some of that work related to ARISE, which is really a multi-institutional effort to support and advance community engaged scholarship as it relates to more resilient Kansas communities.
As part of the ARISE project, I worked on helping researchers complete the community engaged learning and scholarship training modules, which ARISE researchers and students are required to complete. We also offered monthly community engaged research virtual roundtables from November to January this year, where we explore various topics, including the community participatory research methods and using the community toolbox for evaluation and documentation of community engagement data and activities. So we began planning also for community engagement advocate recruitment and implementation. These advocates will serve as local community liaisons to the ARISE research team. So next year, that is something that I'm really excited to see how the ARISE project team will accomplish the community engagement and infusing community equity into infrastructure resilience research and services provided to the community. For starters, the ARISE team will be working with the community engagement advocates within their local community to serve as champions for testing products and other solutions which the research team will design for these communities that are around Wyandotte County, Johnson County, Seward County, Finney County, and Ford counties in Kansas.
So thank you, Cynthia and Emily. And so part of the work that Dr. Belinda Sturm leads, along with other multi-institutional partners, really does relate to this ARISE work. And if you did not know, through the KU Office of Research, you are able to have community engaged research modules that we encourage all of us to be able to complete so that we are entering our communities as city modules with the same level of understanding and supports. And so if you don't know and aren't aware of those, we encourage you to check those out or to communicate with our office. Additionally, we want to share a little bit of additional work that many of you on this line are engaged with as it relates to the Community Engagement Consortium. So for the past several years, the consortium has come together multiple times throughout the year to really think about how do we better become aware, promote, coordinate, and communicate our community engagement efforts as an institution and across our multiple campuses. And so thank you to all of you all. You see some listed here who have participated with our consortium. Stacia is going to share just a little bit about some of that work next.
I've had the opportunity this past year to be involved in the Community Engagement Consortium. And it was really neat to see people come together and engage around community engagement and do that in a meaningful way and share ideas and what they were doing in their own communities with each other. So I'm really excited to learn more about that and to continue to share and learn and grow from other community members and continue to find out about more of the service learning opportunities that are available around KU.
So Stacia just provided a very quick snapshot of some of the work of the consortium, which also has been working to align our efforts as well with Jayhawks Rising, which our Vice Provost will share a little bit more about later. Additionally, another additional group of collaborators, which many of you all are also representing and participate, are our ambassadors. And so we have a few ambassador programs, service learning ambassadors, as well as which really thinks about the integration and how to promote the learning and the reflection of our curricular and co-curricular experiences, as well as our civic engagement ambassadors, who are a group of partners across campus who are really thinking about how do we promote and advance civic engagement for our students, as well as a campus and culture.
So a project that I worked on this year that I'm super proud of and really excited to see how it moves forward in the future is our Student Community Action Corps program. This is our first year of the Corps, which is a community engagement employment program for students. So we have 4 students in the program. Right now, 3 of them are student hourly employees through KU and 1 is a part-time AmeriCorps member. So all 4 of these students have been working on projects with various community organizations involving other students in their programming and really building some great career readiness and community engagement skills as a result of being a part of the program. So this upcoming year, I'm really excited to see how we can grow the program, further develop the students that are staying in the program with us next year, and hopefully have a full-time AmeriCorps member to work with us to think about other funding sources we can utilize, think about training opportunities for our Corps, and really build out the program. So here's to another great year of the Student Community Action Corps.
And thank you, Kate. And I did misspeak. The ambassador program, which are generally faculty and staff, anyone who's not part of our ambassador programs, please join. Kate actually did a highlight of our Community Action Corps program, which has been a new program for us to really think about how we're aligning the community engagement and service learning opportunities through ways in which we're able to provide some compensation and reduce barriers for students to engagement. And so if you're interested in wanting to learn more, we've also dropped the link, and we are very excited about our inaugural group of Community Action Corps members. Additionally, we also help to contribute to advisement as a unit to 5 student organizations. And so Doyen Sola is going to briefly share about that, our 5 student organizations. So thank you.
This year, as a graduate assistant at the KU Center for Service Learning, have had the opportunity to learn about the community partners, the needs they have identified in the community, and how they have been able to provide solutions to these needs. By interacting with community partners, I'm able to obtain information regarding volunteer opportunities available for our students, which I then include in our monthly newsletter, and I also post on volunteer.ku.edu, where students can sign up to volunteer. At the end of the semester, we receive records of our students' loggers, which can earn them credits in their service learning designated courses.
And so what you do see on your screen, whether you're a student or if you can promote it with students or your community partner and have opportunities through the Center for Community Outreach, one of these student organizations that we advise, you are able to post service opportunities. Go into volunteer.ku.edu, and our office also can assist in that process. So follow up if you would like to learn more if you're not familiar. So we have multiple student organizations in addition to Center for Community Outreach. Heal KU, which is focused on ethical service, Alternative Break, which provides experiences during spring break and other winter break for students to have immersion experiences. We have the Student United Way, as well as Lead Up, which is an academic enrichment effort. Lena is going to highlight a little bit about some of the Lead Up work. And once again, we look forward to sharing more.
I'm currently working on the Lead Up project, supporting activities related to implementing our academic support services to the Kansas community. Being part of Lead Up has been really exciting because I have worked closely with KU students and high schoolers from the KCK public schools, helping them prepare for their college experience. I'm looking forward to expanding our presence in Douglas County and Kansas City, Kansas in collaboration with our partner Thrive, helping equip students with the academic and non-academic skills necessary to succeed in college.
And so we hope that together we provided a few highlights of some of the wonderful work that we have the opportunity to work with many of you all in supporting. Additionally, I want to just note again that this is KU Serves Week, which is in conjunction with National Volunteer Week and also Into the Streets Week, which is another, Into the Streets is another effort or subgroup of the Center for Community Outreach. So with that, I also do want to note and recognize that Saturday is Earth Day. And so let's also think about our contributions and responsibility to protecting our planet and the environment. If you go to earthday.org, you can find out more. Now it's my great pleasure to introduce Vice Provost Susan Klusmeyer, who is the Vice Provost for Academic Success here at the University of Kansas, and really thinks about and leads us in how we can prepare KU students through their academic career, all the way from orientation to graduation and beyond. And so with that, Dr. Klusmeyer.
Thank you, Dr. Watson-Thompson. Good afternoon, everyone. Happy KU Serves Week, and thank you for joining our annual service showcase and celebration coordinated by the KU Center for Service Learning, which is a unit within KU Academic Success. The University of Kansas is committed to advancing community engagement, service learning, and civic engagement for public impact, which is core to our mission to lift students in society by educating leaders, building healthy communities, and making discoveries that change the world. We advance this mission every day across our campuses and in collaboration with our community partners. As we prepare for our HLC reaffirmation of accreditation, the engagement of students and campus partners for community and societal impact is recognized as foundational and core to our mission. Additionally, Jayhawks Rising, our strategic plan, has 3 priority areas: student success, healthy and vibrant communities, and research and discovery. Integral to each of these 3 areas is service learning, community engaged scholarship, and service and outreach with our local, state, national, and international communities. Today, we will showcase and celebrate some of the contributions of our faculty, staff, students, and partners in advancing this very important work. I have the great pleasure of beginning our 2023 award ceremony. We are recognizing individuals and groups who have exemplified leadership in service learning and community and civic engagement. We are celebrating students, faculty, staff, and partners who have been recognized at the local or national levels for their contributions to promoting service learning and engagement through community and campus communities. As I recognize and announce the award winners, please use the link in the chat to congratulate each awardee on our CUDA boards. I will begin with recognizing our Newman Civic Fellow through Campus Compact for 2023-24 academic year. The Newman Civic Fellowship recognizes and supports community-committed students who are change makers at Campus Compact member institutions. Nominations for the Newman Civic Fellowship are supported by the Chancellor based on the nominee's potential for public leadership. This year, our KU Newman Civic Fellow is Sharon Russell. a junior studying English here at KU. Building on a family history of nonprofit and service work, Sharon has recently joined the volunteer team for a local early childhood education nonprofit, in addition to serving in a peer mentor role here on campus. Her future endeavors include grant writing work for social and environmental nonprofits. Congratulations to Sharon as she begins her Newman Civic Fellowship experience to further develop effective strategies for societal change. And thank you to the Office of Fellowships for leading the Newman Civic Fellowship nomination process this year. Congratulations. In 2003, the President's Council on Service and Civic Participation founded the President's Volunteer Service Award to recognize the important role of volunteers in America's strength and national identity. This award honors individuals whose service positively impacts communities. This year, KU freshman Hannah Bunch has earned the Silver Presidential Volunteer Service Award for completing 175 hours of service in a year. Hannah spent the summer serving at the Rotary Youth Camp, supporting programs and activities for campers with special needs. Congratulations, Hannah. The Certificate in Service Learning recognizes experiences in utilizing classroom skills to meet community identified needs. Earning the certificate involves taking classes, engaging in service work, and reflecting on service learning experiences. The earned certificate is acknowledged on the official academic transcript. We'd like to take a moment and recognize the student certificate recipients, some of who are joining us today. Their work affects so many aspects of our community. Students, we'd like to thank you for your contributions to improving our communities and reflecting on how your skills and knowledge gained have been critical and part of your experience here at KU. Congratulations on completing your certificate in service learning.
Thank you, Dr. Klusmeyer. So next, I'm Emily Edens-Roundtree, an Associate Director in the Center for Service Learning. I have the pleasure of announcing the next awards. So next, I'm pleased to present the Community Partner Excellence in Campus Collaboration Award to the Center for Supportive Communities. The Center for Supportive Communities utilizes behavioral science to create equal opportunities and meaningful change for children, families, and communities. CSC's Support ED or Support Ed program is a direct result of 40+ years of research at KU, combining behavioral science, mentoring, and community collaboration to support youth and increase school attendance. A number of KU students volunteer with the Support Ed program, and here's what one had to say about the experience. The student said, "I have been volunteering as a mentor with Support Ed since the start of the academic year. All of the staff at the Support Ed have been so supportive, not only regarding my role as a mentor, but also myself as a person. They understand the time commitment and the emotional commitment by checking on us and asking us about things that we do outside of mentoring. My time at Support Ed has been nothing but positive and beneficial to me." The CSC team has also been a mainstay at volunteer fairs, panels on social change, and other opportunities across campus this year, really involved in great work. Congratulations to the Center for Supportive Communities. Oh, and there's the picture of them getting the award. It was really fun. Okay, so there is their certificates. The next award I'm pleased to present is the Faculty Excellence in Service Learning Award to Brent Metz. Brent Metz is a professor in KU's Department of Anthropology, and he's the director of KU's Center for Latin American and Caribbean Studies. Since he began integrating service learning into his course more than 15 years ago, he's taught 11 service learning courses, including 6 in Lawrence with Centro Hispano, 4 in Central America in partnership with the indigenous Chorti Maya, and 1 for local elders on a Kansas immigration project. Brent has presented at the Center for Service Learning Summit on community engaged learning and scholarship twice, and he's been a really active and important champion of community engaged work on and off campus as a service learning ambassador with the CSL. So please join me in congratulating Brent. All right. And the next award I have the pleasure of sharing is the Staff Excellence in Community Engagement Award. Goes to Gauri Nagarajan. Gowrie is a program coordinator in the Self-Engineering Leadership Fellows Program. She specifically supports the sophomore community service project aspect of the program by developing and maintaining community relationships that develop into project partnerships. The projects utilize students and their engineering knowledge to solve or mitigate a problem or challenge for the community partner. The relationships developed by Gowrie have resulted in project partnership with the Lawrence Transit, the Lawrence Public Library, Boys and Girls Club of Lawrence, and the Lawrence Humane Society. And sophomore self students are partnering with these organizations for a total of 6 unique projects, from designing a cat patio to creating 3D printer coding curriculum. So many of Gowrie's sophomores are presenting at the service showcase portion of this celebration as well. So congratulations and thank you to Gowrie. And the next award that I have a pleasure of sharing is with Kayla Hamner for the Staff Excellence in Community Engagement Award. Kayla is a 2021 graduate of the Master of Occupational Therapy program at the University of Kansas Medical Center. Excuse me, and she completed a year of service learning with sensory enhanced aquatics and has stayed committed in the program beyond service learning as an instructor, student director, and now the program manager, which is a staff position in the KU Occupational Therapy Education Department. Kayla has worked to mitigate the disparity in our community access to swimming and water safety lessons by obtaining more than $10,000 in grant funding from the USA Swimming Foundation to provide scholarships to in-need families and expand sensory enhanced aquatics to serve adults with autism. Kayla has developed community partnerships that have doubled the sensory enhanced aquatics capacity to serve children with autism and enabled the program to host a successful swimathon fundraiser. Outside her sensory enhanced aquatics work, Kayla volunteers with her local Humane Society and as a KC Fusion girls soccer coach. Congratulations, Kayla. Amazing work.
All right. And I am super excited to do all of the awards for our students. So we are almost there. You've almost made it through our award ceremony, just a couple of more to go. And these are some really good ones as well. So our first student award is our Graduate Student Excellence in Community Engaged Research and Learning Award. And this one goes to PhD candidate Molly Hahn. Molly has engaged in community engaged research and service learning course instruction over the last few years, including conducting research to better understand nonprofit collaboration through the pandemic, which involved outreach to almost 200 local nonprofits. Molly is also leading a research project focused on understanding the motivation and engagement of older adult volunteers. And then as a GTA for COMS 342, problem solving in teams and groups, Molly has supported students as they complete their Do Good projects by making meaningful contributions to community-based organizations. So congratulations and thank you so much to Molly. And then we've got our undergraduate student award. So I am pleased to present this award to Celia Walton, who is a project management student who currently holds leadership roles in the KU Center for Community Outreach, the Big Event, and KU's Chi Omega chapter. So with the CCO's HUG program, which is helping unite generations, Celia has coordinated over a dozen service opportunities for KU students to volunteer in local retirement homes, working to really build those intergenerational relationships through craft activities, dance nights, and game nights. As the development director for the Big Event, Celia plays a role in raising almost $15,000 to support the event's financial needs. The Big Event was held this past weekend, and then Celia was announced to be the next executive director for the Big Event, which is super exciting. Celia also serves as the director of community service for Chi Omega, where she works to set up service opportunities for Chi O members to participate in throughout the year. So congratulations and thank you to Celia. So let's do a quick little round of virtual applause for all of our award recipients. Awesome, thank you. So we're gonna move on to recognizing all of our service showcase participants. We had an amazing turnout this year for our service showcase presentations. We've got a great variety of presentations. These are all of the student names and kind of affiliations for these different projects. So after we reveal who the top presentations are going to be, we'll go into some breakout rooms where you all will have the opportunity to engage with some of these students live and not in person, but in virtual space. So I think we are ready to move on to the next slide, which I think is actually recognizing those that help judge the service showcase. So we pull faculty and staff and community partners from across the community and the institution to help us judge all of these presentations. So thank you to all of those folks for the time and effort that they put in over the last few days of reviewing these presentations. And now I think we can move on. So our service showcase top presentations go to Celia Walton and our support ed friends. So congratulations to Celia, Storm, and Tian for all of their great work this year and for receiving the top awards for our service showcase. Awesome. So we have made it to the point in time where I'm going to split you up into breakout rooms, and you're going to actually learn from some of the students that have been engaged in this work about the work that they've done. So I have just kind of randomly assigned folks to breakout rooms. Each room will have 2 to 3 presentations and then a CSL staff member to help make sure that things are flowing okay. For those students that you know you are supposed to present, please do not go into the breakout room unless you see that you are a co-host. If you are not yet a co-host, stay back. I'll make sure you're a co-host before I send you. So this will take us probably until about 4:25, and then come on back and we have an opportunity for you to win some CSL swag if you come back for the last 5 minutes as we make some last announcements. So I'm going to go ahead and open up those rooms, and you should get a notification on your screens.
And thank you, Zachary. I know some of the rooms we're glad that you probably likely were engaged in dialogue. And I was in the group with Zachary, who left me on a cliff because we came back. And so Zachary, thanks for adding your note that was talking about empathy and the importance of how we think about that from the perspective of community engagement and service learning. So didn't want to quite leave like that. And I appreciate your comment, and many others. We appreciate your engagement and hope that it continues on past this event. So as we conclude, for those of you all, we are very glad that you have remained on. And so we do have a Center for Service Learning trivia question. So the first, and with that, those who gets the closest gets a little CSL swag that our office will make sure we get delivered to you. So the first question, and you can just put your response in the chat. How many service learning designated classes do you think were taught during the 2021-2022 academic year? And that is across our university. Total classes. All right, and so I don't see anyone else typing. So Kate. Oh, you want me to do the second one? What?
I can do it. I'll share. We could do one answer after another. So the answer for the first question is 148. So Wendy wins. A little ways to go in an increase there, but 148 service learning classes taught in the 21-22 academic year. So Wendy, we'll get with you to get you a CSL swag item.
And we are very glad that we are actually surpassing collectively where we think we are. So that's the importance of us coming together. So thank you all for your contributions. And our second question then, you know how many classes, so how many students were engaged in those collectively in those service learning designated classes during the 2021-2022 academic years? This will be cumulative total. We'll look for you now to put in. All right, so I see a couple of additional responses. So it looks like we have a range from about 300 to 5,000. And so Kate, who's the closest?
Yep, so we had a tie. Peter and Beth both guessed 1,500. The real answer is 1,894 students engaged in those classes.
And so thank you to the students, even though this was the past year, but thank you to those students who are engaging and those instructors and staff and partners who are supporting those opportunities. And we want to get to 5,000. So everybody keep working with us collectively. So thank you once more for joining us for our service celebration and showcase. We truly appreciate all that all of you all do throughout the year to really advance service learning and community engagement as well as civic engagement. We do hope that you will continue to follow us on social media, #KUServes. Additionally, if you want to be able to stay involved throughout the year, if you're not already on our distribution list, we will provide in the chat a way that you can sign up. And we would like to make sure that we're staying in continuous communication and promoting and celebrating this work. Lastly, as we think about your continued participation, please always feel free to email our team at csl@ku.edu if there are ways that we can both promote, recognize, or support this community engaged learning scholarship and service efforts and endeavors. So we look forward. We have one more day remaining of KU Serves Week and National Volunteer Week. So we hope that you will stay engaged over the next couple of days. And additionally, also, if you haven't already, post on the Kudo board or share with other people so that we can continue to celebrate those recognized on today. Thank you very much. We hope that you have a wonderful afternoon, and we appreciate all that you do to advance civic engagement and community engagement here at KU. Have a wonderful afternoon.